Remember, the next episode after this is already up live and available to watch now by over 4,500 incredible fans on the world's largest and highest earning anime and manga Patreon in the world. The links are in the pinned comment and description. See you there.
Now, let's see how you handle a transformation, young man. What the hell are these guys? Monsters! So our story continues in the Tournament of Elder Gods, with the reveal of Beyond Beast Gohan once more, standing in his white fur and hair, emanating pure aura, as he would stare down the truly fearful tail, who stumbles back slowly, unable to even comprehend the killer intent and power he would be witnessing in front of him. The power of a mortal that could be sensed completely and not a god. And like that, God Killer Gohan would slowly but surely begin walking forward, each step deliberate, as with each singular step forwards, the near unbreakable stage, built by the Elder Gods, would crumble and shatter like he weighed 1,000,000 tons, his energy alone seeping through every crack to cause destruction. That's Gohan! My kid! But as this scene would be taking place, a certain black-haired individual in the background would be watching in awe. Whoa! This Gohan is different, isn't he? What even is that form? It's been a long time since Gohan gave me chills like this. But man, he's scary! As it would be Viku now, who previously underestimated the half-Earthling Saiyan. Gohan! And so too would God Killer Gogeta be equally surprised at what he would be witnessing, letting out, "This tournament, you never know what powers anyone could truly possess here. I'm glad he's on our team, not against us." But a grin would then eventually come to Gogeta's mouth, as he would whisper, "But strongest, God Killer? Give me a break, kid. Don't be so cocky." With that said, Gogeta would then begin curiously looking behind, in every direction slowly until... Hold on! Talking of cocky God Killers, where's that version of Kakarot? He's been missing for a while. But so is his opponent. Did they take each other out? Now moving his head erratically, as he would realize his team was one short. But above all this, up on the balcony, the leader of the Elder Gods would be caring about something far more pressing. As Elder God Zeus, staring closely at Gohan instead, would let out,
"This is quite the development. This child seems to be of natural demonic descent. It is not stolen power like these others, nor gained from ascending the demon realm. From the very beginning, since his birth, he's been allowed in the mortal realm. It's one thing for Hera to not notice, but how did this get past me? Never mind. He will die once he faces my team anyway."
I don't care! I don't care what you transform to, how strong you get! I still can't fail here! Everything is relying on me! But back with Tail, his Brolic body would only seem to be getting larger and larger and more vascularized, defying Gohan's overwhelming presence. Immediately screaming his head off to squeeze out what little energy he had left to push him to the next level. Die! Please! Before just like that, he would rely on his ridiculous brute strength to save him, rushing in first at Gohan, trying to get an advantage by being first mover. You made the wrong decision, kid. How? But unfortunately for Tail, this would be a situation Gohan already knew. A familiar one from literally the last chapter. As the minute Tail would throw his punch, Gohan, as if reading his mind, would already be behind the Brolic warrior. His arms effortlessly and serenely slid over his skull, ready to snap his neck, just as violently as he did Black's. An elder god Hera, his creator, would know this too well, as folding his arms he would comment, "Oh boy, I know this move, his signature. It seems these god killers don't just kill gods after all. Fine by me. Just means this ridiculous tournament ends faster, and my ascension to the leader of the Elder Gods comes quicker." But as Hera would be making these assumptions, Gohan would look down to Tail within his arms and surprisingly whisper, "Say it now. Say it before it's too late. Tell them you surrender. I don't want to kill you if I don't have to." And feeling like he'd been given a godsend from the heavens, Tail could hardly believe his ears. The mercy being shown by what he considered a monster, as begrudgingly he would accept his options and begin saying, "I see. Fine. I surrender." But unbelievably, tragically too, before Tail could even finish his sentence, before he could live to fight another day, instantly, a sheet of pure metal would slice straight through his temple, stopping his words instantly as blood and brain matter would splatter on both ends. Alarming Gohan with the gruesome display, as he would immediately let go of the boy's skull and jump back yelling, "What's going on here? Why? He was giving up! He didn't need to die!" You! Dad! Don't be so soft, kid. As in a shock reveal, the one who did this, stabbing through his metal katana mercilessly through Tail's skull, would be none other than God-Killer Goku, back from an interdimensional battle with Koi, sword in hand, and finishing the third round of the tournament before Gohan even had a chance to end things peacefully. As coldly, God-Killer Goku, who by now, after all he'd been through, resembled nothing like the Goku we knew from the original timeline, would let out, "This tournament isn't a game, Gohan. That was always your problem, even when you were a child. Take things serious and end things before they end you. The longer we spend fighting in this tournament, the closer we all are to dying. You can't underestimate anyone here. I'm sure you and all of us in this God Killer team have our own stories and goals we need to achieve, our own people to bring back. So I'm not taking any chances here. The quickest way for us to return back to peace, to return to how we were before, is to max out our violence now. Max out our violence? You're not the dad I remember at all! And the moment Gohan would hear this, finally he would understand that though he may recognize these teammates on the outside, they were entirely different people to what he knew. And with that, ruthlessly, God Killer Goku would just remove his impossibly sharp blade from Tails' skull, the dead boy falling to his knees, before falling to the ground lifeless, the blood from his head wounds flowing over his face.
It is decided! The winner of round 3 is Elder God Hera!
As with that, the ever-watchful Zeus would then slam his hand down onto the balcony, the impact ringing across the entire stage and stands, as he would call an end to round 3. And with a chuckle, Hera would then stand up from his seat, Ares behind him silent. As with a grin, Hera would look down at his victorious team and spout, "A good first show of my power. These are the monsters a true elder god with talent can create. Kranoa, you fool. You really thought that Vegito was something special. He wasn't even one of my creations I watched or cared about, fool." And with that, the Elder God would suddenly jump from the stage, as he would then land on the stadium grounds, and before him, all 4 of his God Killer team would stand triumphant, with Gogeta muttering, "So now he shows up. What flaws did he pick up this time? Training with him was a nightmare. I can only hope we lived up to his silly expectations. Very, very well done, my creations." But perhaps to the God Killer's surprise, Hera would actually commend their performance, clapping and continuing, "That was far more impressive than what Castiel put on. None of you are even remotely scathed. And well done on eliminating the other team. I gave you the choice to keep them alive or kill them. But seems you were wise enough to pick the correct decision. Now one less team exists to get in our way." But having said this, Hera would then look up and ask to Zeus, "But funny, why has Zeus not announced Ares' elimination like he did with Poseidon? That old man can't even do this one job right. Zeus! Ares has been eliminated. Don't play favorites now because he's as old as you." But soon enough, Zeus would answer,
Elder God Hera, young man, you should learn to take your wins while you're ahead. I will announce an elimination when it occurs. If I do not, then it has not occurred. Address me with a command again, and I will erase you and your team in the blink of an eye.
"Huh? an elimination hasn't occurred. But surprisingly, Hera wouldn't be fazed by the threat, but more of the reveal that Ares was still somehow in the tournament, despite his team all being dead. My boy, you really do have a lot to learn. As immediately, Ares too would then jump from the stands and appear straight behind Hera, with a grin then beginning, "You must really think of me a fool. Foolish enough to have made the same mistake as Poseidon. No, I did not recruit a measly 4, hoping they would be enough for the kind of tournament Zeus would organize. What I sent out against you, one of the least respected elder gods, was of course some fighters made just to test the waters. My weakest creations." As now, with a sinister look, he would add, "You must have got quite the ego boost seeing your team dispatch of mine. I bet it made you feel like one of the big boys. Too bad for you. All you've done is merely show everyone here just what some of your strongest fighters can do. So on behalf of all of us, thank you." And just like that, Ares would vanish. These conniving old men! As of course, Hera would just be left furious, his teeth gritting, feeling like he had been played in some way.
All of you, leave now! The round is over, as I said. After 3 rounds, we will take our first break. Do as you please and recover. Until then, be gone!
As Zeus, just like before, insisting on everyone leaving, would now finally get up from his seat and begin walking back. His hands behind him, it would seem like he was in great thought, as Zeus internally would think,
It's about time I called a break. I haven't been able to check in on my warriors this entire time. Genesis is unpredictable. For all I know, he may have slaughtered the lot of them. Though they might not have even all arrived. In their old age, these creations of mine have become impudent.
As before Zeus, a portal would open, a rip in dimensions not too unlike what Koi was capable of, and before long, Zeus would enter it. Stepping out onto clearly an entirely different area until...
Already!
As just as Zeus had feared earlier, some sort of battle would be occurring, and it would actually seem to involve Genesis, just as he predicted. A battle between Zeus's warriors was about to be witnessed for the first time.
What's got you hot and bothered?
As suddenly, we would be met with an image of Genesis in the middle of parrying a fiery punch from a blonde-haired warrior dressed in all black, his opponent's arm and fist coated in crimson flames, as he says nothing and maintains an expressionless look.
Calm down!
But it would seem Genesis would gain the upper hand when he would counter, slamming a right hook that sends his opponent straight into the ground immediately. But it wouldn't seem so easy in reality, as when Genesis would look to the floor, suddenly a pool of lava would be visible instead of the blonde-haired man's body.
some kind of substitution. This heat would damage any other but I normally. An interesting trap, Saga.
As while Genesis would spend time inspecting the foe's escape, behind him, a fiery ball of that same crimson energy would begin generating out of thin air. You're easy to read, and there's nothing strong about your strength to boot. Hard to believe this is the Genesis Zeus told us all about. As emerging out of the flames would be the thought-downed opponent, now named as Saga. As calling out from behind, he would say, "Come at me again, and this time don't hold back. You have no idea who I am now. Don't treat me like the same kid you once knew." To which Genesis would just stick a thumbs up out to and reply,
Aye, Captain. If you think you can handle it, then I will happily oblige. We're on the same team after all, aren't we? Zeus won't mind me tapping a little into my power reserves.
as abruptly crouching down and slamming his right hand into the ground, the entire stage they were on would begin vibrating violently, as Genesis would spring-load tension into himself before... he would shoot from the floor and straight into the air to meet with Saga, the two instantly trading blows with extreme speed and power, their movements too fast to be seen by even the sharpest set of eyes.
Genesis! Saga!
The hand-to-hand combat culminating in them both simultaneously swinging around a roundhouse kick at each other. Saga with his left leg and Genesis with his right, screaming each other's names until... in a shock intervention, arriving in the middle of both their kicks, stopping them instantly with two simple blocks, and a surprising smile on his face to show for it, Ardos would be the intervener, stunning both all-black fighters as they stumble off balance.
Ardos, what is the meaning of this? You want some of this too? You could have just said...
Leaving Genesis questioning, but a much colder Saga would let out, I'm not here to fight people I know I can beat. Next time you touch my leg like that, I'll be sure to remind you of what happened the last time I had a problem with you. But a giggling Argos, unfazed, would respond, seems you're as much stuck in the past as you claim Genesis to be. I stopped you two fools because Father is here now. You know better than to scuffle in the presence of the Supreme Elder God. As indeed, our next shot would be of Zeus's impending presence, through his legs watching. As soon enough, he would approach the three, all looking like his younger sons, not just Ardos, as he would say,
Of course, I could not expect to find you three behaving. It's good to see you have arrived though, Saga.
As turning to the blonde-haired man, Zeus would continue,
You have grown. This energy I sense is completely unlike what you were the last time we met. To fight on equal terms, to even Genesis. Now that is an accomplishment worthy of praise. Oh, Zeus! You're far too kind. I'm not that strong, am I?
as comedically, this strange figure known as Genesis would begin grabbing his face and blushing all over like a schoolgirl over Zeus's words. Save it! That is no accomplishment. If you had bothered to check in on me, you'd know what real accomplishment is. It's been hundreds of thousands of years, you old man. The things I've been through and the power I've gained. Just be ready to rethink whether you needed so many of us for your team, Zeus.
I'll be watching closely then.
As with Saga's confidence literally blazing hot with flames coming off his hand, Zeus would just humor him with a smile before continuing,
Make sure to show this new power of yours when you come across a certain fighter. His name is Son Gohan, a demon born among the mortals that even I was not able to detect. A mistake you boys will need to rectify.
Gohan! But the mention of this supposed target warrior would pique Ardos's interest, as with wide eyes he would mutter, Another demon among mortals! I must meet him! But looking around, Zeus would have more pressing concerns, asking,
Who else is here? I know Saga could not be the only of my men to have arrived. I sense more. Over there, Zeus! Inside there, a couple of antisocial types.
as Genesis would be quick to point the finger and lead the Elder God's gaze out to a mysterious hut in the distance, with its contents completely shadowed over. But before long, the clank of black armored boots would be seen and heard in the distance. As with a subtle groan, the fourth member of Elder God Zeus's team would show himself. A regally dressed warrior, his skin dark like his all-black armor, as with two giant horns sprouting from his skull, he would be no ordinary royalty. Letting out, Zeus, it's been a long time since I heard your voice, but I have answered your call. My debt should be paid once I have done this final job for you. As staring forward with gleaming and beastly amber eyes, he would then ask, "Now tell me, where do I find this Vegito?" Finally, it would seem at least one of the powerful warriors in the tournament had been told to fear the power of the true God Killer.
You're a little too far away, bud. We can't hear you from there.
As Genesis, of course, would be right on time to destroy the tension. But talking of tension, a whole lot of it would be sensed within an unsuspecting cave that seemed to have a faint flickering orange hue. As within the cave's confines, Omni Vegito, Zycor, and Dragon God Piccolo would be seen, conversing intensely over a freshly set up fire. The last time we'd seen two of them being when they had just met with Cronoa, as Piccolo would finish saying,
"And that's what she told us. The weakness of some of Zeus's strongest fighters, including that Genesis."
But a bemused Zycor would just be questioning, "So you're telling me she gave us the blueprint to beat them? Why would she help us? Why wouldn't she just keep that information to herself and her team?" But Piccolo, with his arms folded, would respond, "That's what I said. It's clear, however, she's got some kind of plan. Apparently this entire tournament was all something she had pulled the strings for to occur. So this will be no different. It was either a lie to get us killed, or she wants to use us to get rid of them instead of her team." But looking up in deep thought, the wise Omni Vegito would have a different perspective, as he would say, "No, the real reason is because she sees us as an easier target. She's not hoping we beat Zeus's team. It would be a plus, sure. But she's told us this so that at least we weaken them, so her team can swoop in and finish the job. How wrong she is. But the real question is why she seems so sure we will be fighting them first. It's almost like she knows the order of the fights before they even happen. Or maybe she's the one controlling them." As on that possibility, both Zyko and Piccolo would be left wide-eyed, pondering what consequences could come if that were truly the case. But back on the balcony, above the tournament grounds, a figure would be seen again, and it would be the return of Zeus after some time, as the Elder God would let out,
"I applaud your patience, but the wait is finally over. Round 4 is upon us, and the entrance will be Elder God Hades versus Elder God Cronoa."
Finally! Oh, poor Hades! What an unfortunate first opponent for you. As immediately, both Elder Gods would react in two totally different ways, with the young Hades looking confident in himself, while Cronoa would clap and laugh, perhaps not too surprised at all at her name being called. Well, let's bring them out then. They've been training long enough. As she would soon then rise up from her seat, holding out her fingers until, with a snap of her fingers, the noise would ring through the surrounding areas before, in an instant flash of light from the heavens themselves, divine energy would slam down on the stadium, creating a large column for all to observe. I didn't realize Cronoa was so flashy. It's almost like her team weren't even here till right just now. Hades being the first to react, but soon followed by Zeus, who would question,
"Cronoa, where are you summoning these fighters from?"
As soon enough, two pairs of feet would then begin walking out and... So this is what all this was for. Can't say I'm not underwhelmed. As finally, Cumber and Shallot would show themselves again, finally outside in the real world. And now, for the main course you've all been waiting for. Come! As lifting her finger again, directed at the beam of energy like commanding it, it would somehow push down onto the ground even harder. And not just that, but yellow thunder would start erupting in the clouds. Before long, these yellow bolts come shooting down, striking the ground all over. What? Zeus! Doesn't just one bolt signify the round start? As Akubel, surprised at the ruckus, would wonder what his father was doing.
This thunder is not my doing.
As just as Zeus would admit this, a Saiyan pair of boots would now come out.
Sorry for taking so long. You boys are ready for the real main character now, aren't you?
As finally, the God Killer Vegito would be back, dressed in the same outfit as his two kinsmen, his eyes alone glowing red, as with his same self-assured smile, even in base form, his confidence would be sensed by all. Next chapter, Ultra Vegito fights. But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag Ultra Vegito in the comments down below and let me know just how strong is the God Killer now. Or just find out what happens right now on my Patreon, where you can see the full next video, fully voice acted, soundtracked, and edited for you to enjoy with over 4,500 plus other fans, as well as getting access to 250 plus other fan mangas too. It's the deal of the century.